Welcome to Office Hours with Dr. G. I'm your host, Dr. G. And I'm so glad that you could keep our appointment. Well, I know you were here last week. If you were, tonight's guest, who is no stranger, gave us part one of how to move through the Patrix, because we are energetic beings. But she didn't get a chance to get really into what she wanted to share with us. My guest, for those who don't know,
that's me,
is Mother Khai. And she holds the greatest title of the omniverse. She's a Ma Cosmosin. In utilizing her natural gifts and talents, she does all things according to nature. Mother Khai has been given many character roles to play on the stage and does not identify them or place self in a box. She role plays, allowing others the right to call her as they think they see her. Some see her as an iridologist, still others see her as a numerologist, a nutritionist, inspirational speaker, teacher, student, author, designer, or politician. And the list may grow. As Mother Khai says, she does not divide, she adds up. So, as I said, many of us knew about the Matrix, but Mother Khai has introduced us to the Patrix. That's the patriarchal system that has long been manipulating our reality. So she's returning tonight, as I said, with part two of how to get through the Patrix. We are energetic beings. Now, fasten your seatbelts, get your pen and paper so you can follow along with her. Tell a friend, hit, share, like, so that we can get started with tonight's awesome presentation. Presenting to some and introducing to others, none other than Mother Khai. Welcome.
Appreciate you.
Got a little bit of rock here left for you.
Yeah, that's me.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Last week you were rocking the socks off the folks. I mean, we just let you go because you being who you are, you always have something enlightening and revealing to share. Last week, you told us about the fact that, well, you talked about a lot of stuff, but I don't know whether tonight you're going to talk about actually how to maneuver, how to make it through this Patrix, because last week you did a lot of explanation as to what it is in maneuvering through it, because there's a lot of ish going on. Wow. I'm going to start right off, see what we can say. Like yesterday, because you all in the stars and the numbers and everything. And yesterday, I didn't even realize that Facebook went offline and everything associated. I guess WhatsApp, Facebook, anything, any Instagram, because they're all connected. Mm-hmm. That stuff went down. People are weighing in as to what actually was the cause, what happened, why did that happen, and so forth. But I know you are pretty astute as it comes to the numerological aspect of things and the astrological aspect of things. That don't know whether you've looked at it or have anything you want to share with that before you get into really what you wanted to talk about.
Well, other than it's a new moon, and that means initiate as well. We are in October. So
heard a lot about October.
Yeah. And so October being, considered 10th month, but in math, we would reduce and just say it's a 1. So being that we add a new moon, and in this 1 month, it's like expedient that we make some move. You see? Because in essence, and I have some guests, I don't know, this is like I'm in the house again, and the light you see going in and out, and I can't Yeah, exactly. That's just my friends, I guess, here. Because last week I was in a different location, so now I'm in another location. But looks like, I have some friends too, because this is ancestral month as well.
Okay.
See, and so we really have August and October as our spiritual months. But you see, there's no holiday in August, right? And that's the 8th month, August, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when you look at October, you're also looking at this really and truly being the 8th month as well, because
That's
Oct is
right.
8.
Octo is 8. Yes.
Exactly. So really, we have 2 months to honor ourselves. But what they did was a dishonor to make it about ghosts and goblins. See,
So, this is funny. Somebody said, Divine King says, it's Red October, sis. We've been telling y'all for over a year that the Patriots was shut down FB, IG, Google, Chrome, WhatsApp, and TikTok. Why? For crimes against well, I'm not gonna get too much in, but anyway, and I
mhm.
wasn't even thinking about that because I know there was this movie out called The Hunt for Red October, and you and I both, I know I have on red. You have, like, I guess, an orangey red,
No,
and
it's actually it's red. It's
it's
red.
red.
It's red, yellow, and green. Star colors.
And we did not even coordinate this, and we
No,
both end up in October in red,
yeah.
and it's almost like, the universe was directing us as far as signaling us to, what to put on to symbolize, because they're all about symbols, they're all about symbology, and
Hmm.
we have to start to learn, um,
Yes.
how to recognize, you know what I mean? Because a lot of things have been right before our eyes, and we've had, as that movie said, we've been eyes wide shut up until, maybe in the last few years. For me, it's been since 2010, that my at the end of 2010, when my eyes started to open up. But more and more, people are starting to say, wow, I see. So
My
I don't
eyes.
know if you got your wisdom, but back to that yesterday.
Yeah. I just want to say that my eyes opened up about 30 years ago, and I got a divorce. Yeah, and that was just around when we talk about 33. I was just about 33 years old.
Hmm.
See, and also to talk about the red color that we wearing today is also because it's Tuesday, and Tuesday is also, Mars, and Mars color is red.
Okay. Okay.
And so Mars number is also 9.
Hmm.
Today's universal number energy would be, what's today, the 5th, right? Today's the 5th.
Yes.
So that's interesting. This is 2021. So, wow, we have a universal day of 11, which is a 2. And that's like, I'm doing it right now. And I'm saying, wait, this is really interesting because you have the 11 energy and so do I. And it's also talking about the new moon, which is, right now. And it's the 2 1s, really, or the 11s right here, you and I, you 11 in the matrix, I'm 11 in my gift number. So universe got real tricks and playful because you read, I'm read, I'm just seeing all this thing, and it's live, and I'm surprised at how the universe just keeps lining up. So last week, when you don't know this either, I wasn't really satisfied because it was a short notice. The topic is a heavy topic that really can't be discussed in even 4 hours, because the fact that we're energetic beings, there's a lot to that. And the fact that it's a Patrix, there's a lot to that, especially if you not, not you, but a lot of people haven't even gone to kindergarten classes yet. they're still waiting to start school.
Right.
So when I'm speaking too, I try to speak slow and think about who's listening, like as a child would be listening, like how when I was younger and want to know what the adults are saying and what they're doing, you know? And I want to watch what they're watching because I'm thinking that they're hiding something from me, you know?
Right.
So when I'm speaking now, I want to make it whereas it's a class, but it's like a Montessori class where they can go at their own pace. And if they're listening to this, it could speed them up faster than if they were going to a regular public school where you sit there and they teach to the dumbest, not to the smartest. And no matter how smart you are, you can't go any faster. So it is my hope that I know how to translate things into a more remedial understanding and to clarify some things that were said on the first, because I'm making an effort to be clear, use the proper words, and be as diplomatic as possible. At the same time, not being too soft, not being too hard, but this is a double one because it's what we were just talking about, this being, an 11-day, right? Because it's the 5th year, all right, 2021, which is 5. It's a 5-day, that's 10, plus this is a 1. So that's an 11 personal day, right? Energy. And then we are talking about it's really the 1 month here. See, another one, and we have a new moon. See, so it's a lot of newness right now. And what's not new are the things that are continuously going on in this cycle. So this would be the time magically to implement the art of war as we're sitting here in red. And the art of war says the only way you are going to win, and there was a book too, The Art of War for Women.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I don't know who it's by, but I know that there was the Art of War and there was the Art of War for Women. Then they had something called the Art of War for Women in Business. There was a bunch of them. But what I'm saying is that we're in war. So I can't be too easy, and what I mean, we're in a war with ourselves. We're not really at war with anyone else. What it is how we get through this is that we have to, as said in the previous video, on live last Tuesday, is that we have to know that we are responsible. Because we're not going to be able to walk around as gods and goddesses and rule over anything and don't take responsibility for all things. And so no matter what we're thinking that they're doing, when you are knowing that you are a creator, you know you created that too in your mind. And just as you decide, I don't want a glass of water, you can decide, I don't want this reality as well. But the thing is, when you consistently reinforce this reality that you're powerless, then it won't transform. You need tools. See? And each one of us is a tool for the other. That's what we're here for, one another. Even though most people forget, we're here for one another, but that's what we're here for, one another. To live for, of, and by each other, and we are tools for one another. So there are things that are here in this density that we can use as tools to help us to recall our power, and that all of this is us. one of the things is use the color, the red. Red is powerful. Just to wear the color red gives you a certain energy, even so. That's why the baboon's ass is red when she wants something, and the male knows, hey, Khai, is red. They say when a woman wears red lipstick, she wants to attract too. You know? Yes. You know, so these are things that already are known. So now, we have to take responsibility for this Patrix. And as we talked about last week, it's not just the Patrix. It's the matrix that the woman will not take responsibility for, and meaning that we have this fleshy body that representing the cosmos, where life comes through us. And so whoever watched the other video and last week and say, yes, I did say the refrigerator and the car come through us. They're like, for a child would hear that, be like, what? So let me explain, because a teenager might say, well, how a car and a refrigerator come through? Well, because whoever had the thought, male or female, had to be birthed into this reality.
Sure.
So whoever had the thought of the refrigerator and the car and the clothes or whatever had to be birthed into this reality. Now, the thing is, how did we even get to this point? And it's simple that we fell. And we had a little mind, which was called the ego, which I know some people say it's, what they say, edging God out. But I just say it's energy going out, okay? So now, that's called the little mind. So at one point, we were being reminded that when we got into this density, because before all of this, talking about we being energy beings, we were etherians, and the word ether, okay? So ether is just the same as either here or there, and that's exactly where we are, either here or there. Or some might say no here or now here. So as being etherians, we have light body, and that is who we truly are. We're light. We are flexible. We can, go in and out. It's light body. But when you want to have an experience, you desire to be able to feel and interact, and hear the word interact. So now here comes the body. You're entering the act because you want to interact.
Mm-hmm.
So now this is why it's so crucial that woman first. I'm not ignoring the male at all. But what it is that if we're going to get it right, we have to get it right through life. Because we're birthing that here. We're birthing everything here. So that means that the younger female has to learn from the master, the grandmaster, the grandmother. Because now you've had some experiences and some time to observe, because now you at this point, if you're a goddess, you must know that you are the observer. You're not the body, you're not the flesh. So through these experiences in the fleshy body and just disassociation with the things that fascinate, like when you first get here with the new body. Oh, it's like when you just are new soul with the little ego. That the little ego was there to first just help the body stay well and whole. To just know that when you're going into this density, that this is what you need to know. So it's that little voice that says, hey, you shouldn't eat that. Hey, you be careful, because you're in the density. And what happened is that once getting that body, you got something called senses, so that you could sense having this physical body in this density and not just in your etheric body, your energetic body. But as we begin to experience the senses, the taste, touch, everything, but even though it's all five senses, it's still one because it's all touching, the light touching the eyes, the taste, it's still touching, it's all touching. So what is that? That is just sensing you are here, but also sensuality. So now all of this overstimulation, and just as a small side note, that is what they're doing because they learned that from us. So when we get the stimulus, is because, well, we created all stimuli.
Would that be sort of like a sensory overload that we're going through, like an over, like saturation of certain thought patterns and imagery and possibilities, that are we're being bombarded with from a technological standpoint of what they got from us. Now they're turning it around to put us in various and sundry realities until we realize that that's what's happening, and then we reverse it by using what we were born with.
That's why I'm focused on the woman, because it's the womb of life, and there's opposition now. The heart beats in and out. So all we need to do is just recall. And recall simply means that we need to dial home, and recall, right, what we call ourselves. See?
Yeah, that's important.
See? Because what we're calling ourselves doesn't sound right. And so everything is energy and vibration, and we're energy beings. How about we just know ourselves as energy beings versus the slave names that we were given later on down the line, once we got so comfortable with the sensing and the sensuality. Because once we got comfortable with the sensing of the body and the flesh and the sensuality, that's when, well, you no longer was loving yourself. You were screwing yourself. Because it's overstimulating. That's too much. So now look at the world that we created. It's overstimulating. It's over dramatic. And it's simply because of what we call ourselves. And the fact that we got this nice avatar now to have the experience from being an etheric being, and we're still in the same place, but we're in a density, but we needed this vehicle to experience the density. So we have to now, being the grandmother, talk to the young women who have the power, because they're bringing the life here, so that we don't keep birthing the same cycle. Because the thing is, we have a cheat code. Everything is off of us, so it comes right back to us because it's our reflection. So it comes right back to us. So everything that they have in the video games, we created that too. We created everything. So they have cheat codes. So where's the cheat code for us? Simply, it's in us. We are the cheat code because the light is coded within us. That's called our mitochondrial DNA. So when we go back, that's our light code. And that's exactly what they look for when they want to find themselves. They go to the cheat code. They strip us down and they sequence our genome. And one particular genome that they do sequence, and it's one of the largest, one of the largest chromosomes too. It's as a matter of fact, check this one. It's the 7 chromosome, G7 chromosome. How's that sound for the G7 summit?
The G7. I mean, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same thing with what Kevin Behringer talks about with the melanin research, the big book of melanin research that they've literally been studying, and Dr. Francis Cress Welsing and others said, but they've literally been studying for hundreds of years what it is, the power of melanin, and even determined that some things have happened throughout the ages of time based on what was happening in us as melanated, how our melanin was resonating or coming together.
Yes. However, if you look at chromosome 7, right, one of the largest, right, that it's not a coincidence that they call themselves going to the G7 summit. And the chromosome 7 just happens to be the chromosome that also controls smell and taste.
And when people, before you go further, isn't that a symptom of something?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
The loss of.
Yes, and it also has a lot to do with immunity. So like I said, do the research, people. So they've been studying this for a while, because every time they go to that summit, that's what it's been about, because they finally finished the sequence recently, I believe, maybe in 2003, because they had been sequencing it, looking at it, and didn't get it together until maybe a couple years ago. As well as they were trying out things on other melanated people to see how it would affect. So the art of war, once again, wearing the red, simply is stating that to win the war, you may have to sacrifice even your own. It's called casualty of war. So it may look and appear that everyone is getting this experiment. But they've already sequenced the genes to find out how it will affect certain ones for certain.
Would you call what's going on, and excuse me, would you call this maybe a new genesis? Because Genesis or genetics, the book of Genesis or genetics or beginnings, is this a new, because they talk about a new, order.
Right. Well, you see, this is what they want to be, but what I can say, and I use my board, but I will say this too. They know the magic is all in the vibrations and the numbers. So with this being 2022, and of course they plan their elections years ahead before they have them. This is
2021.
Well, it's 2022 actually, because the energy is already changing, and plus we know we're 23 hours, 53 minutes, and whatever. So actually, they know that the plan is 2022. They're already ahead of us. You know what I'm saying? In that jump. So they're in that already. Well, we still trying to gather what time it is. We don't even know truly, But what I'm saying is that if you're looking at 2022, and being that they plan their elections for so long ahead already, everything is already a plan.
Aren't they selection?
Exactly. There's selection, right? And the selection, election. Yes, yeah, I see what you're saying. What I'm also alluding to is that I almost lost the train of thought.
You said they were planning. They already are.
Yes. The 2022 is a 6. So that is also the time when creation, came into existence. Remember? Mm-hmm. See? So then this is a 6 year. So they're playing around with the creation. And also, not only that, it's also 6 sex. So the energy would be of, look, 2019, 20, 21. See, let's say the end of 2019, right? And then boom. So people was not like trying to get with nobody because they wasn't sure. You know what I'm saying? And then 2020. So that's almost a whole year. So if anybody ain't, up under somebody or on top of somebody, right? That's a year. So then look, so 2022, they're thinking, woo, see what I'm saying? And plus it's a 6 years, so that energy coming in, that means more population on the planet. See?
So right. Because let me ask you that when you talk about more population on the planet, are you saying the planet?
People going to want sex. The energy is coming in, is a sexual energy.
But isn't it, and let me pick my way of saying that, isn't it indicated that whatever is being done is to suppress the reproduction of
That's right. That's why I said they plan it, because they know this is a 2022 coming in. The energy that's coming in is a sexual energy. So therefore, they already had this, experiment already ready to roll, because they know what's coming in.
So they want to counter that.
Exactly. That's a definite counter, because the energy is a sexual energy. It's a high sexual energy. And I know, because I'm like, out of nowhere, I have been approached and so on several occasions, but I know what the energy is. And I'm like, you too? Really? But I know that he was also feeling it more, because he's also in a 6 personal year. So this person who approaching me, he's in a 6 personal year, and this is a universal 6 year. So he feeling like ridiculous.
Do me a favor, put a pin in that right there, and tell the audience how they can determine what personal year they're in.
All right. So, well, this is like, all right. You want to use your birth date and the month that you were born in. You want to add that together and then reduce that.
So when you say,
and then add
the whole,
like if you're, okay, so let's say this, if you're born on the 29th day and the 3rd month, you would add that together and you would get a 5.
Mm-hmm. And
then with this year coming in as a 6, or 222, which is 6, right? You would add that, and that would be, an 11 or a 2.
So because it's in the 3rd at bottom part of this particular year, you're saying look for what next year is coming in, because this one is coming out, or does it start?
Well,
does it start at one's particular born day date? Because wouldn't that be when it changes? Like for instance, if I'm born in March and I'm doing a calculation into October, wouldn't it actually change in March of 2022?
You know why I'm laughing? You know why
No,
I'm laughing? Because
no.
books say that, right?
Yes, I'm asking, so I want to
No, no,
confirm
no,
it.
no. But I'm just saying, I have, I don't really read the books. I go by energy because that's why I'm saying we're energy beings. But somebody else had said that to me too, and I said, "Wait, why are you asking me?" They said, "I read it in a book," and I
I read it
laughed.
from one of the
But wait. But we're gonna do this right now since we live, right?
right.
Remember, it's not your birthday yet, but remember, I was telling you about the energy you was feeling, and you were like, "Yup, I'm doing that right now."
Mm-hmm.
So you answer your own question because you feeling it. And we were discussing that about the energy that's coming in with you.
I have to remember what that was. I don't know.
Your power year.
Oh, my power year, but isn't it? That's not an eight. No, I don't know what year that is. But anyway, my power year.
But anyway, but we did just what I'm saying is that if anyone is saying about the book and the book saying that the energy comes in around your birthday, right?
Mm-hmm.
All I'm saying to you is that you now are experiencing that that's not so because you feel in the energy. It's coming in, it's starting to come in, and you're making decisions based on it.
Okay. So I get what you're saying because that was, when they've been saying, for instance, okay, the Aquarian energy. Some are saying we're
Mhm.
not there yet. Some are saying we're already in it, but others are saying we're feeling the energy of it, even though we may not be dead in it per se, but the energy of it is being felt, and that's
Right.
what
So
you're saying.
yes, so let me say because everything overlaps. It's not like, oh, you on plane one, plane two. Everything is overlapping, right? So therefore, the energy is coming in. It's waves. You
Mhm.
know, you don't when you're looking at the ocean, you don't see one wave and two wave. Everything is, it's flowing.
All into
Just
each other.
exactly rolling. Right, universe is flowing. So now, how we can look at this right now too is how they look at it. Look at the young people who decided that they want to go vegan, but they also still having sex, but they vegan. So, and then we having all the sunspots. So the sunspots is just means that we're in a sun cycle, and that's good energy, though they want to say it's something different. But with the young people wanting to have a plant-based diet, still have sex, and then we're in a sun cycle, that means more light babies coming here.
Okay.
See? And they don't want that vibration here. They're
So
trying
that's
to
why
lock
they want to do that.
right because naturally, remember, we're all nature and nature is improving. See? So therefore, with the young people here having all the power, and the young woman, if she's going, and the trend is, remember, the trend is the plant-based because it's a 6 year, and six is sex and sex is food. You can't have food unless something's having sex too.
Some process is happening.
Exactly.
Either
It's
bees are pollinating, sticking it in, or
exactly. So you can't have no food without sex. Everything is sex, and so that is why they use it as a weapon. See? And it all became, this is why it goes right back in a circle. It all became a weapon because we now have a fleshy body from being an energy body. And some are old souls, some are new souls, some are young souls, and not even accustomed to having a body. So then now they just gone stark raving mad about, oh, I can touch this, oh, I can do this. And those are called what the natives even call, or the indigenous people call, the younger brother. So the younger brother now, he had a body, but so long, he destructive because all this is new. And that's why you have old souls that come on the 29th, 11th, and 22 day who been popping in and out like myself. And then nature calls and say, we need homeostasis on the planet here. Remind the women that you can close the gap.
Mm-hmm.
The gap don't have to be so big. The distance, literally and figuratively, but the distance between, are we going to be together or are we not
And
going to?
one of the
Mhm,
things, so those who, the have-nots versus the haves. Now we're talking about them in a different way. We're not talking about
mhm,
what folks have acquired wealth, but if you have or you have not, have
mhm,
to be careful, you know, about the interaction, and because now they know that things are transferable, just like mindset. So are those other things that have been some folks have received. I had a sister asked me today. We had been talking in New Jersey for a bit, and then she came over to where I was, and she said, um, you have you received the?" And I said, "Absolutely not."
mhm,
You know, and I'm pretty sure she had. And then the other sister I was talking to actually said she had, but she regretted it, and wanted me to give her some information about counter, so forth. And I told her, I would get
mhm.
with that. But the fact of the matter is, when she said that to me, then I was like, if you're concerned about me, dear one, I'm concerned about you.
Mhm,
Not so you don't have to worry about me. I need to be concerned about being in your presence. You know what I
mhm,
mean? So a lot of things that are going on right now. I mean, and I think people in some cases aren't telling the truth because they know now, especially the ones that know they have made a mistake. Who's
mhm.
gonna, who's gonna want to become a pariah, even though they've tried to make the us out to be the bad, something wrong with them because they have not.
Right. Well, you see,
But the haves are a problem for me.
yeah. Mhm. Well, they shouldn't have. This is what, I've come in contact and I say to, there's people that I know and I love, and they went and did what they did.
Yeah.
I'm focused on women and women and children, because with the representation of the cosmos. And so nothing is going to get better unless we do.
Right.
The male, he's comfortable with other males. You can see that when they get together, it's group, it's the game, they're comfortable around each other. And females are really comfortable being around themselves too. So what we have to realize is that, all right, women have the body of the cosmos, and so it's still masculine and feminine, right?
Hmm.
And the male is same way. It's just that his vehicle has less gears. See? And so it just means that the female body is whole. It can do a lot. It's like say, it does everything that the cosmos does. So we have to get comfortable in knowing that this is just a vehicle. And the person who got the job, the experiment, they were not comfortable. They were not knowing that they're energetic being. Because look, all is all. I mean, this is really not that difficult at all. I don't see what grade, like I said, this have to be for those. Let me show you something here on this board for a second, because this we have to trust one another, right?
Hmm.
Because we've been entrusted with a vagina. See, look, entrusted. So that is Mother Earth, not Father Earth. Mother Earth entrusted us. And on the fiat, it says, in God we trust. But we were entrusted with a vagina. In trust. So that means that there's something that we were getting that was worth a lot, which is the vagina. So now, when you look at, let me see if I could show you this here. Maybe. I don't know if I can do this, but all right. Maybe. All right. Maybe I can. I wrote something there. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? TRUST?
Yes.
And you see XRUSX?
Let's bring it up here. Yes.
See, that's what women don't do. See the XX? Because that's what the T is. It's a cross. That's why I put it XRUSX. Because it's women who needs to trust themselves. Go from here. See, remember on the previous last week video, I said the cross. And that's why I said it wasn't all finished. It's so much to this explanation. Because this is a cross. And this is the two X's that we have. So we have to learn to trust. Our sisters have to learn to trust one another. See? And that's what's not happening. And so how are we ever going to get out of this if we don't trust ourselves? Because you are me and I am you. And the trust is an X. So when we I go from me to you, trusting you, and we see each other, knowing that this world and life and our children depend on us. Because we have been entrusted by our mother, which is called an inheritance.
Yes. You know what else I was thinking about when you were saying, Mother Khai? I just thought when you talking about us with one another, I was thinking in terms of what they say goes on underground with the root system of trees. How, in the, even if you go back to that Avatar movie and all that, the systems were all connected. The roots. And you might see individual trees above ground, but at the root of it, we're all connected, intertwined, inextricably intertwined, and there's no way to get unentangled. Even so, when you cut one tree down, you've affected the whole forest, so to speak, or the whole system. And I think we've been programmed to not see ourselves connected like that, and so we don't have a problem. Yeah, so we don't have a problem attacking one another or not supporting one another, because we don't realize in attacking or not supporting, we're affecting ourselves too.
Yes, but see, this is why it's so crucial, who's ever watching this video, that they recall what you call yourself and then remember, because to remember is let it go across your membrane and then connect the dots. Because that's what we are. We're just a dot in the cosmos. And then you'll get the picture that there's no you per se. It's just not. And we're once again, not only ENTER, but INTER, we're interacting as this etheric being that now wants to sense things. And now, because we're sensing all this here, we've got greedy, comfortable, or, whatever, all the other negative words, that we can add on to that. We're now all this flesh. That's what we're just very physical. And we haven't, we're not looking at we're energy. And the proof is, once again, hindsight is 2020. Because if you look at this, for instance, let's do this quick like. Let's look at Michael Jackson. So let's do a hindsight, boom, like this, 2020. Let's look at the fact that we're energy. Because we can use somebody that's gone already, and we can say, well, hindsight. Michael Jackson, born 8/29, and 1950 something. I think I remember, but I think 53 maybe. I think 53.
When he was born?
Michael Jackson.
No, he's younger than me. So in our case, 55. Maybe he's 56 or something, or I mean 58 or something. I believe he's a. Let's look him up.
Where's somebody see when he at?
I'm going to look.
Okay. But anyway, let's do this then. Hindsight still. I can still do it off his if it's 8-10-29 because it's 8-10-29. This would have been like if we take the 11 and the 8, we're going to get 19. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that would be on the left. That would be his tendency. Let me see something here. Yeah, if I get this board here, because look, we gotta get this that we're energy beings.
Okay, August 29th, 1958.
58. Right. All right, 1958. All right, so boom, 58. Let's do some hindsight. Let's do some homework here. And we need to prove something. We don't need to be online and just, I ain't about this just being online and just talking. We got to bring this into a close. And when we leave this live today, it's powerful. And, 10,000 views. Everybody send it everywhere because we need hindsight so we can look over our shoulder and say we was there, but we're not there no more. We're looking forward because it's hindsight. And now it's foresight because I'm going to give you some foresight here right now. So we got Michael Jackson 14, and we got this. Okay. All right. So we're looking at Michael on the left in his tendencies, which was 19. Okay. And 19 is the karmic number anyway, which is about power. But if we were just to look at him in the matrix and hindsight, because he ain't here now, but we can look at what he did. He was acting out in his tendencies. How? Because 19 reduces now to 1. And he went solo. He wasn't with the Jackson 5.
Right.
So he became the 1. And you see the 1 and the 9 there? 9 is all about high vibrations and sound and dancing. And how do we know? Because it's also his gift number, which is in the center of his 29. So that's why he was, and he been here many times before because he's 29 is an 11. Mm-hmm. See? So he was masterful. That's why he's so remembered and his spirit lives on because everybody keep mentioning him like I'm mentioning him right now.
That's right.
And so now you see that he was dancing, and that he was acting that in the matrix, which is the 9, and then he was solo and he left the Jackson 5. So then that was the 1, and he became CEO over his stuff too. But when he started to become CEO over his stuff, that is when you're looking at the music industry saying, you're not going to own all that. We're going to take you out. And they always do it with what? We're talking about sex. That's what they use because that's the best tool because that's sensuality and that's what they used for him. But you see in his gift number, what was that? How could they use that? Because 11 is children. 11s love children. 29, that's 11.
Right.
And that is innocent souls coming in and out, and that's what they did to him. Now, if we're looking at the fact that he born in 1958, that means his life path was a 6. So now, hindsight, remember, look over your shoulder. He had a challenge with beauty and food. See, 6 is beauty, but that was his challenge. He didn't think he looked good. He got his nose job done. And whether it was vitiligo or not, he had a challenge with beauty. Hindsight. Mm-hmm. So you want to tell me that we are not energy beings now? When we can look at example after example, I can just go, we can do this 10,000 times. I don't care. We are energy beings. We are Etherians. And I want to go chill with the Etherians too, by the way. When I'm done, I am here on this live today for the simple fact of what my life path indicates, the thought before getting this vehicle. And that is going to give me my degree, saying I came, I went, I experienced, and I didn't allow a governing body to govern this body.
There you go.
Because I am not who they think I am, because they don't exist. Because anytime I don't want them to do this, poof, that's it. They out. You see? Because they poof, they out your mind. Get them out your mind.
There you go. There you go. It most
That's
of it's
the this is the this is why I said we are energy. We giving thought to them. And if you don't realize that, woman, you are the power, you give them life. You birth them. Ow! God. So I'm like calling my sister saying, hey, you reflected me? No, you can't. Where am I at? This is why sometimes I say I don't want to do no live. What? I'm like, I don't want to go outside. I start to feel like I want to stay in my little box where, like there's a little toy. You say, let me out, let me out, let me out. I'm like, I'm going to stay in this little box right here. I don't want to go out and
namaste.
I'd be like, no, I don't. Don't you talk to yourself when you know it's just
in your own reality.
Right. So this is the whole thing. But when you know, right, that you want this degree, because that's where you have this experience, to know that this is a collective consciousness. See? That's the key. Your life path. Because no matter, you may feel like, oh, I need to just focus on your life path. You still have the collective consciousness that you are interacting with, because all is all, and this is all conscious. So by you really being, you are assisting the consciousness to all wake up. And so you're sensing also, looking at the other one going, this could go either way. Because you're in the duality. So you have the energy, the ego, the energy going out that's saying, I need to represent. I need to represent the God, self.
Or present.
So, the God self, the goddess self, you have to represent simply because you know that you're in the duality and that you created this reality and you're playing with yourself. So this is like when you're in a video game and you want to beat yourself. You want to get to the next level. But you have all these other selves too that you know are you, but you're trying to give them some power. This is all we're doing, is playing with ourselves. So we're encouraging, right, others to be like you. That's it. Encourage others to be like you. Because well, you're in all. There's nothing wrong with someone wanting to be like you. There's always going to be, what they say, different energies flowing in different lights, because there's daffodil and roses and tulips. So it's not the same, but it's still all flowers.
It's true. And it's also perception. I know today I was, like I said, I was in Jersey and my phone rang and I picked it up and I was, on speaker. And the people that were around me who were vendors heard the gentleman on the brother on the other end going, when he realized it was me, he was like, oh my gosh, Dr. G. He went through all of these. And so I promised him that I would call him back. But when I hung up the phone, the woman around me, the woman that was standing near me, she was like, who are you? I said, what do you mean? She said, who are you that person called you with such excitement that it was you? I said, I'm Dr. G. I mean, that meant nothing to her because she's not not into this and doesn't know, but she sensed something in the voice of the person who talked to me that who are you? Who are you? But it's, and I should have said, I'm you, but I didn't think that quick, because that's really the truth. We're aspects of one another. We're fractals. You know, we're all part of the whole, and we
Mm-hmm.
start lifting up. Like I said last week or whatever, we want to make people superstars. We're all stars. Yeah, I like the point you made last week that we start out as young stars,
Yes.
and then they become stars and mass stars, but superstars I realize are created or manipulated superstars, because
Yes.
Sly Stone or somebody said everybody is a star, and we start to look at others as more than, better than, greater than, whatever. Nah, baby, we just part of the same solar system.
Well, well, grandmasters are bigger than superstars. So,
I know, but that's the
right.
illusion that we've been given, that superstars are so much.
Exactly. And
But I've come to the conclusion that superstars are a part of the illusion. Somebody creates those
yes,
and says you're better than, you're greater than, you're more talented, and that's the lie.
you see, the thing is, this is what I do personally, okay? I just know that they're here to play a role. That's it. Because they have a born date. So nature had them come and they're playing that role. But either, right, they're of a low vibration or a higher vibration. Because they could be like how Michael was, where we just said hindsight. He was in the tendency, he was on the left. See, when he went solo, and his challenge was the 6. So he left here and he had that challenge still. See, he was in the process of correcting it. So you have those same people who are superstars, they're on the left, looking and dealing with the matrix. What I say on the left is their tendencies. Some of them are not even begun to work on their life path because it's challenging them. You can simply know. I mean, it does get easier as you get older, but everybody still, you have to work for it. This is a universe, not a university. So you have to work to get the degree. So if you're not working on your life path, you're not getting it. And it's not a guarantee that you get it next time, because there's a lot of Etherians out there waiting to get this physical construct called a body. This is a gift. And that is why it's so important to eat energetic foods, because you are energy body, and to exercise because the body is meant to move. That's why you have to touch and feel and things like that, because you want to sense things and to move. That's exactly what you do. You're sensing things when you move. That's energy. Move. Energy is moving. So you have to do those things. This is the whole reason for coming. And everything now just got twisted, because of, once again, the woman created all of this and she wasn't careful about her procreation. And this really happened, let's say, after the fall, when the vagina wasn't revered as it was. Because in our times, and we now looking at astronomy, and we've been here millions of years, and we looked at, how to, sexual acts were more what we would call a sacred act. Mm-hmm. So I'm talking now about when things came about in their beginning. You follow? And so in their beginning, right, or their Gen Isis, that's when you start looking at, when they start recording all of this, the Kama Sutra. Remember, you see what I'm saying? And all of these other type of things, and the Tantra, or the Tantrics. Mm-hmm. You see, and then all of this sensuality, and then people began to fall in love with the the sex and deviated from it, what it was really truly for. And so people didn't know how to um, cultivate the life. They started to raise life like cattle instead of cultivating children like plants. See? And now it's out of control. And so everything that came here, that's why I said like the TV, the whatever, the garage, the car, whatever came through us. And now it's reflecting us back, because what we talked about too is that the TV is mimicking us because of the fact that it was a tube. And I said this before for those that heard, that from our mouth to our asshole is a tube. Our hair is the antennas, and then we have channels going all throughout our body. So now, what happens with that? Simple as that. What they're doing now is that they junked all the old TVs with this experiment that was in the nursing homes, and they're in the scrapyard because they're probably getting used for parts, just like an old television too. And then you used to get up and change that channel. You get up and you change the channel. You had to walk over there and change the channel. And then after that, the television had no more legs. You didn't even have to use your legs, and the TV had no more legs. Now it had a remote. So now the TV had no legs, and you could just sit on your ass with the remote and turn on the television. Now, right? Let me stop right there first then. And they were controlling the people now, because they were changing, as the TVs were changing, they were changing their games all along too. Because the frequencies were changing with the televisions, and the frequencies was changing in the air, 1G, 2G, 3G, all that, right? So now they were changing, they were messing around with the people, but the people were also the television, because remember, we created that. So they're using that. We're reflecting. We can just look at the television and see ourselves. So now at this point, they're remotely controlling the people with the remote control, like the television. And now those televisions that have the remote control, you can throw away the remote control now, because you can use what?
Voice.
Your cell phone.
Your cell phone or your voice too.
Right, exactly. So now that's exactly where we're at now. They now do what they do to put the chip in you the same way that, not you, but they put the chip in people the same way they chip the television. So when you're talking about right now with the younger people, they can hold all of this new frequency. But they can't. So they need those bodies, those young bodies that are upgraded, that have now come into this dimension that are nature. So what they do is that they chip those bodies, and then they drain those bodies so that now they can inhabit those bodies, because now those bodies will be android. See? So this is a, you tell me your vision, I'll tell you my vision, and that's what this fight is about. Because the mind, it's a vision, and that's when you look at scripture, it says that old men will dream dreams, and young men, or even though the man is interchangeable, so woman too, but they will have vision.
Another thing they did, Mother, I think is significant that we need to think about. I remember when I was growing up, and you can remember this, with the television, at a certain point, the colors came up, and it buzzed out. It went to snow, and TV. You heard the Star Spangled Banner play. TV went on, and we were forced to do whatever you do when the TV is not on, like go to sleep. Now they gave us this 24/7 thing that goes on, so it helps support not getting the proper rest that the body needs, that the vehicle needs. Spirit can do the thing all, but the vehicle gets worn out sitting up looking at one tail eye after another, being able to channel surf and nothing ever going off. we used to get proper rest. I was thinking about why were we healthier, but they begin to give us more and more things to take us away from what was natural and what we needed. And it was happening
Right.
all in that box that you said went from having legs and making you get up to turn it. And when we couldn't find, well, yeah, when we got remote, we became remote when it was lost. My stepfather would make us come from upstairs to downstairs to change the chapel. But we moved, we were exercised. But now that it has become more of a keep you glued to like some people call it the idiot box. you
Yes.
know it dumbs you down and does other things to you and doesn't afford you the opportunity to power down, power off, and get your proper rest to be recharged for the next day, because you got options that we didn't have before.
Well, like I say, when they took the legs from under the television, they took them from under the woman too. So the woman have no legs. She have nothing to stand on. And really, and so unless she wakes up and realizes that she is the beast now, because it says beauty and the beast, but the beast was her, and all of these things. I mean, there's so many levels to this. So you talk about beauty and the beast. Well, yes, because once she did not recognize that she's an energy being, and she over consumed pleasures and forgot herself and made these children with low level other energies too, and brought more low level energy on this planet. Well, she was the beast because she was over sexualizing everything with her own sensuality. So it's not the beast is not some other energy. The beast is her too. You are everything and everything is you. Not you, but we. So when they make this thing, when they made this Beauty and the Beast, that is her. When you see the woman and now how she looking and everything that we talked about last week, and she's externalizing her power. She's a beast right now, and she eat like a beast too. I mean, let's look here. I want to help our sisters because I want to help myself and I love myself. But in truth, this is, like I said, we respawn this. We spawned everything here. And now I want to know, and this is a question. Anybody in the comment viewer, any man, how he see himself in these women who walking around outside themselves with all of this sort of gallery looking like the costume. And I'm talking about, we already know we in our spacesuit and we only get so much air. Even the astronaut is mimicking us, because once we come out being an etheric being and we need this physical vehicle to exist here, we got a certain amount of air that we're going to be able to have before it's time to go back, because you have no more air. Air is out. Just like being an astronaut, they're in a spacesuit. Well, what the heck do you think this body is but a spacesuit? We in space. So, woman, you want to love your children. Remember, fear. Fear is vibrating on a 3 level. Love is on a 9. Do the Pythagorean theorem and figure it out, because math is our science. It's mathematics, ma'at. So women need to figure it out so that our men that we love have someone that they can get inside of. Because they need to see themselves. That's where they came from. And so maybe they can't see themselves. They're going away to other men.
Yes.
They can't see themselves inside the woman who is over extravagant, just natural. Because we the original, Orisha. We're playing out the story of the Orishas. This is an old story of incest, sex once again. Penis getting chopped off, sex, jealousy once again. But it all is having to get better only with who? The faithful woman. The one who will go all over the place, who is faithful. The spiritual, the true spiritual woman. The woman who knows that, hey, she is the representation of the cosmos, and you have to represent it well, because that means you're a godly woman. To use the term lightly, but all. Because all is all. All is not creating. All is not, maybe I need to be clear, because I want this to really be a video that just go like 10,000, more than that, whatever, all around the world. Because it's women that have to know that it's all in her hands, and that she is the representation of all, and all is not creating. All is, all does, all is all is growing. All is not creating, did not create. All always was, always will, always now. So now we represent that. So that's why we're whole beings. And then you got split. But the one, or atum, or the one is not even a one. So it's not to say what? No, one is three. There is everything after zero is fraction. Because the circle is whole. That's all. Anything after that is a fraction, a part. And that's why when you get to one, you're really already at three. And that's the father and the mother and the child, or the mother, the father, and the child. However anybody want to put it, but it's all three right there in that one. Because that's how things were grown. When things split, it became the one. But remember, you and all already exists. So that means the three already exists. The child already exists. The man already, everything was existing already. We're just representing that.
Right. The Bible, the biblical text of that happening is in Genesis 2:18, where allegedly it said that God said it's not good for man to be alone. Really, what was being said was not good for man, if you would, womb man, to be all one. And so genetically, they were separated out of each other, but there still remains in each other a part of whatever the whole was. So you got a little bit of this and a little bit of that. When you talk about, you got testosterone and estrogen, because it was all one. So
they need to get off that.
And they said it wasn't good to be all one, and then they put it down as being all alone, but it wasn't an alone. It was more like that hermaphroditic. You got it all in you. You can do it all in yourself. Let's pull it out and have you put back together like a puzzle in order, in the sexual act, in order to create or to procreate. When at one time it was able to be done in the womb man, all one.
There's so much that can be said about that, because that name alone, man, does not even really doesn't hold any weight for the masculine. Like, he's the man, but the woman is not the man. The woman is the man, the man is the man, and it's the human race. So it's like man should not be alone. That means that all of us should not be alone.
Well, I think as not alone, but all one. I see it as we were complete within ourselves as one, and the experimentation genetically was pulling stuff apart and making other. So maybe it's not the original us, but it's the Frankenstein effect, I'll call it.
Okay.
You don't have
Well,
to agree with me, but
no, it's not that. It's not that. It's the main thing is that whether shouldn't be alone or anything like that. I'm just knowing that the key thing here is to get it to a point, and keyword point, period, where we are at this present time, that it has to be that we know that we're energetic beings and that the greatest force is a sex force, and that is what has been used against us. So no matter what the scripture said or whatever, the force that is used against us is the sex force, because the sex force is the greatest power. And that is why, like when you having this orgasm, every cell in your body is prepared to make a life. It's like every cell is ready for that, to just boom. So it's the most powerful time. It seems more subtle, but what is actually going on is very, very powerful, because the best cells in your body coming together to make that life. So with that information from a new soul learning, remember, we ancient, so we knew these sciences. It's just that now we don't want to be Ethereans any longer. We want to be fleshy. We want to be showy. We want to wear all the mask and the, yeah, truly the mask, the makeup, and that's it. We like being in this situation, obviously, because we in it. It's just like poof. I mean, maybe for me because I'm an old soul, but like I said, I can't understand a thief. Women have to love. Love is 9. They keep talking about 9 is feminine. Well, 9 is the same vibration as love. Fear is 3, and so if you even do that on terms of just numbers, well, 9 beats a 3. So that means we need to love. Energetically, that would cancel out all the fear.
Speaking of the 3, I know when a few shows ago you talked about the 3 when we were coming around to, was it November or was it January, whatever was happening, the things that happened with the so-called, the E. And I remember the 3 was very prevalent. The fear that was being put out was a part of. And even now, is it still at play or no? Because there's
yes,
a lot of stuff.
Definitely, because like this is 3 months out before the end of the year, the energy is changing, which is the 6. And so that's an issue right there, because we're talking about, they're the negative. So instead of love or life, they're about the opposite of that. So that means that they know this energy is coming in. They've studied, they learn from us. They know what to use. Remember, they're the opposition, so they're using it against us. It's the same thing when you're playing checkers and chess and all that. They're the opposition. They're just trying to get on your grounds, in your territory.
So why is it that during the last like 3 months or so of the year, and when you call it fall, that there tends to be more ritualistic things going on? I'm told that it's their time of harvest of souls and so forth, and it happens in the fall.
Well,
why is it?
Oh wow, that's a loaded one, and I'm going to tell you. Wow, there's few levels on this, so I'm going to put it in some simple terms too, as simple as I can. It's 3 months left. It's also dealing with astrology, and it has to deal with also their cycle. Their cycle is the death cycle. They're low vibrating. And generally, when we're in this energy going in at the end of the year and things are dying and going dormant, right? That's the death cycle. That's their time. And it's also on the 3, which is left. See? And when you look also at October, you're looking at Scorpio, and you know Scorpio is the one that crawls sideways. It don't come straight. It crooked, right? And it deadly. So that tell you something about the time right now. And it's the fall. And if you get bit by a scorpion, you're going down. But also on that too, it's also when we're supposed to go up. Because really, we're supposed to go dormant, meaning we go inside. But inside, not like in the box, but inside. See? Because we were already, when we are in our right mind, we are in preparation of this time. That's why we called it the harvest. Because we were taking things inside and we were preparing. And this also is our time where we could share that harvest and give thanks to our ancestors, because this is truly the 8th month.
So in the antithesis of our harvest is their negative, maybe harvesting of souls and
yes, and not only that, remember
their rituals.
Yes, and that's why, and I'm going to say this, and I hope people get this too, because if I hear kids from another so-called person's conscious mouth, I wish I had one of them things like from Little Rascals when you're driving the car and they just go pow, pow, because I'm hearing too much kids, because this is the time of year when, yes, it's all about kids.
And they disappear a lot.
Yes, yes, and not only that, and look at how they're trying to get the kids with the candy.
Yeah.
See? The Halloween. And who getting sacrificed? The kids, not the children, not the children, the kids. See?
The goats.
Because they are the ones.
The lambs and goats.
Yes, and they are the ones who started that whole calling of children kids. So can we please cut it? Like they say, we need to cut it. I mean, like everybody pull up on everybody, because we all need to be able to speak what we will into this duality. And kids ain't one of the words that we need to be using. I know things is habit, okay? But make some efforts to don't be so angry when the next person say, hey, you said kids. Try, children. And eventually, just like how they do things on your job and they get you to repetitiously do things, and now it's like, even though you're getting signs now that they're saying, if you don't do this, what I say, you're going to have to do this. That ought to be a wake-up call that we are in the one, and that you need to get a jump on what you're going to do, because they're already telling you that once you give them the one, remember, what come after one?
2.
Exactly. So they're already telling you the one thing that they're doing, and that means they're going to get on a roll, because after 1 come 2. So therefore, if they're telling you, if you don't do this by November 1st, you don't have a job. So that means if you comply with that, you're going to have to comply with the next thing, because after 1 come 2, and after 2 come 3, and they already got the whole thing planned out. So next thing you know, you ain't even have no 9 lives. Because they done stopped it already, because the whole thing is that, remember, the G7 summit, they've been planning this for a long time. How do people think that they know that the Africans have something called a ghost gene, the ghost DNA? How did they find that out unless they were sequencing them and experimenting on them, and then by looking at their DNA, realize, oh, wait a minute, what? We never seen that one before, and then realize it's not even from this planet. You know about that one, right?
I had never heard of that. No.
Oh, no. Somebody Google it. You can Google it right now, ghost DNA. Because they were experimenting, and like I said, this is the art of war. And so they already know that there are certain ancestral beings here that have ties to those who are not from here. And they try to say that, oh,
Okay, here we go.
right,
Yeah.
ghost
Ghost
DNA.
DNA in West Africans complicates the story of human origins.
Yes.
Yeah.
But how did they just find out? They had to be doing something to
They were
figure out.
studying. They were
They
studying.
exactly. And so they want to know more about themselves, but the only way they can know about themselves is through us. And it's also is through the woman. Because, well, it's the mitochondrial DNA. So it's some ghost mitochondrial DNA. And this is why I say women have to know that it's all in our hands if we want a better life for our children or we don't. Because now it's on your watch. If you, whoever is watching this and you're a grandmother, you watched your mother and your grandmother, if you got a chance to know her, and you know you wasn't, maybe you were blessed, or should I say, maybe you were taught, but most weren't. We were talked at and not talked with. And even I learned to talk, you know, um, with my daughter, but at the same time, because not knowing how to choose a mate by actual energy, because that's where it should, that you don't get the right match because we've lost our culture and we in somebody else's petri dish right now.
Yeah.
See, and so that's what it is. And if we get in somebody else's petri dish and it's not our proper culture, then we die because it's not the right environment for us to grow. We are nature. And so you can look at their science and go to, let me see, I go to something and it's called how I found out about the G7 chromosome. It's a science something. I'll try to let somebody know again, but I look at all the science stuff. I love science. That was my favorite thing. Science means to know. So that's how something I got to download about G7 Summit, the same way I talked about last week about the Bohemian Grove. Well, all of those who go into the G7 Summit also go to the Bohemian Grove. And hindsight, once again, 2020, is 2,700 acres. And how many times have we talked about them using the code to the universe and Tesla and the 369? And then you look at their address. It also equals 9. The amount of acres equals 9. Something starts to smell after a while, and as a woman, you want to know if it's you, and then you go take a bath and you get rid of all of the bacteria on your skin. That's exactly what we need to do. We need to figure out if this is us, and then go take a bath and wash off all of the old bacteria, which is them, down the drain, because water always purifies, and that's our mother, water. I will miss water when I don't have this, but I love water. Water is everything. This experience is like, I love it. And water, I'm like, mama, water, this experience is grand. Who is the one that is supposed to govern this? Come on, all of this talk from this woman, that woman. I just love the man who loves woman. I know that he wants to be all up inside her, loving her, because that is him. That's where he belongs. And that's because he wants to feel her femininity, because that's how he feels himself. Remember, he got a body now, he's sensing, and he ain't whole. So he want to experience that. And how is he going to experience the femininity? But because he not whole, is that, how does he do it? How does he do it? He does it by watching You or me. How are we feminine? So that's how he learned, because truly, if we birth them, they're like the babies. So
And
he
why
have to learn. Eh?
and why he wants to get I know I was doing a thing going to talk about the vagina, you talked about it, but this one little
Yeah.
quote and the thing that I didn't present was the vagina was once considered an incredibly sacred thing, the gateway between heaven and planet earth. When a man called himself going to heaven, it was because he was, that's where, you know the vagina was the gateway to get to what, they in the ancient times was considered heaven.
Still is. It's ancient times right now. It's just it's the forgetfulness. See, that makes this not ancient times, because everything is now past, present, future is now. So this is ancient times. So there's some ancient pum pum on this planet, eh?
Yeah, and one a good book,
Yes.
couple books for to read. I know, they're I haven't, but Mami Wati, the Mami Wati
Okay.
book. That series is a really good series to look at woman and stuff that they've known about. The
Mm.
I don't want to call it ancient because you're saying we're ancient now, but what we forgot. How about that?
Because we're Etherians, we're energetic beings. The energy doesn't die, so that makes us ancient. See, and not only that, when you look at the male, when he revered the pum pum, right, the vagina, he was on his knees, and the depiction was that the woman was sitting on the chair, right, or the throne, right, and he was there on his one knee or something, whatever. I guess that's how they get the marriage proposal or something from the depiction or the hieroglyphs or something, But at the same time, right, when you look at a chair, I'm not an artist. Okay, here, look, watch this. I'm gonna do this. It's representation of this world and us coming here. Right. Boom. I can do it. I'm gonna be an artist today. Yeah. Uh-huh. All right, look. Boom. I got a little pad here. Let me see if I can get in the light. This light. Wait. Can you see that?
Yes.
See, that's a 4, the chair.
Right.
So that's representing that when you talk about a woman bringing things to life, because the 4 is the physical manifestation of the build, meaning that in the mind you was creating it, and the 4 it came out as the builder. That's why they talk about the carpenter being the relationship to the 13-4, because that means that now you are also on your square, and that is why the Masonics use that also, because it's a build, it's a square, meaning that you on the throne.
Yeah, I'm a 13-4, aren't I?
Yes, you are. And so that's exactly what you are working on your life path. So let's talk about energy, all being energy beings. There's no you. You're just the energy performing, and interacting with what is said to be me on this live right now, hoping to interact with the other souls that are also Etherians, to raise the conscious level to that it's all mine, because that's all it is. It's all mine. If not, we are walking on a mind, like I said before, it's a minefield. And like the earrings that I'm wearing, these hoops here, I charge them energetically with the AO scan, because all is energy. So it's like, hey, I wear my power because I'm in this minefield, and I need, to use the tools. So everything, my ring, everything, I power up with the frequencies. So
Right.
I'm not, right. It's not to walk around and look like you got a cake of powder on your face. You got fan eyelashes, that I don't know what they look fuzzy, like you anime.
Like blinds. They look like blinds.
It's all, I'm like, I say this again, and I mean, I love my sisters, but if you're going to do that, please get a sword. And I want to see you looking like the anime, with the breast, the small waist and butt, but you need to have a sword. Because in the anime, those are warrior women. They're trying to slay, like we said last week. And these women out here, they're not slaying, and they're not even playing. See? Because if you were playing, then you wouldn't be going to a job and talking about, I got to take the SHOT for my job. So I don't know what my sisters are doing, and I would like it to be addressed, because I need my degree for coming to be able to speak, because that's all we are, is the word. That's the sound. We're just sound. We're energy beings. Like, duh, how many times must it be reiterated? And they talk about, Grand Sheik being redundant. Well, my goodness, how I'm being redundant as well. Because some people are redundant, just dumb. And what it means is that their light is dim, because dumb is dim, meaning that your light is dim. And that is coming back once again in a circle because of your parents. They didn't know how to have sex. They didn't know how to create life, because they came into this body and got too accustomed with touching everything and everything touching them, like the food. So they ate dense food. They don't eat energetic foods. So the sperm is also dense. It has not that much light in it. So the sperm is supposed to be as healthy as what you eat. And so is the woman's body, so that you can bring the light beings in here, and that we can have the responsibility, because we respawn and we now teach them, so we can get this paradigm, whoop back into shape. I'm like, whoop, like, look here. I wanted to know, if I show my ass, would I get 50,000 views? Because I will show my ass off, eh?
You don't have to do it.
No, I'm just saying, because when you watch, see how we coming off right here, now, right?
Yes.
You should get 50, 100,000 views with all the information that you do, what I say. But what I watch is the woman with the fans on she eyes, the pack, and everything like that, and the claws like that, right? With no sword, and she's showing herself off, and she got 100,000 views.
I got my sword. I went and got my
Look here. You joke.
I got.
No, I'm talking about the big old sword.
Well, I got to start with a little. Gotta get one. I started with this one. Symbolically.
Well, all you're gonna do is poke somebody, and that's just like what a woman says she don't want. She don't want nothing poking her. She want the real thing, eh?
Yeah, we gonna start here. We gonna get the one that you can hold like this and chop it.
Yeah, right. Well, look. All right, but see, this is a very serious thing, though. We make joke and light, because we're supposed to be playful, and this is the Patrix. But most certainly, we have to know, and I want to say this: I still have the spagyric hemp, flower, to make people feel elevated naturally, and I'm going to have the T-shirts too that say Matrix, Patrix, Matrix. See, so that you can be reminded that it's you who is screwing yourself. It's all you, and that only way this is going to get together is that we deal with ourselves. But we must be the thought, which is the wave, the pattern, because we're energetic beings. We're energetic thought pattern. We're the sound of my voice. That's all it is. That's when we use the AO scan. You talk 10 seconds. And you get your tune up. You get your tune up.
Yeah.
Exactly. So so certain things now, like it's like ridiculous now. It's just ridiculous that everybody want to play like, oh, Mother Khai said that. Mother Khai didn't say nothing. You did. We're all the same. You know what is this? I'm bored. I'm really bored now. And I have to find something to do. Because it's like, how is it that like people just can't get that we're not going nowhere? Everybody is talking about they are religious. They believe in some higher being, some higher power that is omnipresent. How are you getting out of that source. How? So why the fear of death? Unless you want it there, because it's all you. It's all you. Everything is you reflecting back. So if you be the person that is the thought on your life path, and who don't know need to find out. And these are the things that grandmothers have to know, so that they know when their children are coming to them, how to put them on that path right away, so that we can have more happier people, because they're living the thought that came before it actually got into this physical dense body that now is sensing everything, and it's too much sensuality. That's it. When you're eating food, overdoing it with the food, that's sensuality. The food, you're seeing food porn now. Oh, people,
it just mukbang, whatever that is.
Yeah, but see, everything now is over sensualized now. And everything turns into sex. So that's why now we have to watch our children, because over sex. And it just keeps flowing over into other areas. Sex is just flowing into other areas. We're calling it this, we're calling it crime, we're calling it whatever. It's just sex. And that is from the very start of things, of just being an energetic body, not knowing how to use all of this physical body so that you can experience God's self creating. So this is just ridiculous now, because the consciousness is present, because it always is. Remember, all is all, so it's always there. It's just that you have to convince yourself that it's not. So that's why the struggle. But you're struggling between self, like, I don't know if I can. So, the doubt. That's why it's so important to group yourself with other selves who know better. So that, like my mentor, Maya Angelou, when you know better, you do better. So for all the women who might be very, angry because I talked about their eyelashes and their long nails, do it. But I just want to see you come out with that costume, because that's what it is. It's a costume. Your skin is a costume. And anything else you put on top of it that cakes it up and it can't breathe, what are you doing? It's your vehicle. Would you go and put, diesel in your car that need gas? So you don't do that. At least I hope not. So don't do it to your body, because your girl children are watching, and this is supposed to be the time where we can use to go higher and change this world better, because it's a 6 year. So if we do love, then it's going to get better. Poof, just like that. But if we stay on the not knowing ourselves, and let me clear this up too, because some people might say, oh, she was promoting masturbation, girls masturbate. I promoted girls knowing themselves, because it's better that they know themselves first than boys. Yes. So there's nothing wrong with that. But anytime anybody, young girl, whoever, man, whoever, start to, once again, overstimulation and not know that, hey, man, wait, hold up. I was feeling that energy today. That's right. We're growing. So I was feeling that energy today, but I know how to channel it.
That's right.
So that's what I'm talking about. When I say, if a girl, she's being in this world and she hears about sex, so you're going to have to do something. You have to teach her to know how to satisfy herself, and that she can give herself an orgasm, and then that feeling will go away. But it's not just that she should be overstimulating herself, or that she even should have to do that. If you are bringing her up, and we say it takes a village to raise a child, I would teach her about that energy and teach her breath work. Teach her that she's a healer in the village. Look at her chart. See that she's a nurse. See that she's an artist. See that she plays sounds and brings up the community. See what she is so that she can channel that energy into that. Because that's why sex is all, distorted, because all of the things that we came here to create, the energy is going in the wrong direction. So when I'm feeling good, I'm like, oh, I know what I could do right now because I'm full of this creative fluid. Mm-hmm. So we have to teach our girls that, and the girls will teach the boys that. Yes, because what happens is that they will take on the grandmother's mind and wisdom. So now the girls are ahead of time. And then they're going to look at that same boy who is maturing slower. And they will know, oh, I have to control that too because he doesn't know. And when the woman gets better, the man naturally gets better. But if we keep going the way we're going, the man can't see himself in that woman. That's why even now, women say, oh, you know what? I can't find a good man. It's not that there's not good man out there. Woman, it's you. You have to be the good woman because he can't see himself with all of that makeup and all of them and you think you're looking good and you done went and did this and that. He can't see himself. He just, man is simple. Really, my mother used to say a man, he would never even have a house. Which what they used to say, the old people. My mother is Cherokee and she was from the South. So she used to say something about, a window and a pot to piss out, something, the saying.
Yeah, he doesn't have a pot to piss it or a window to throw it out.
Yeah, exactly. So a man don't really want nothing. He just want to be inside you. It's women who make everything more beautiful. Remember, she's creating things. And then he begins to see the beauty and go, oh, I didn't even think I needed that. But it feels nice. So when you even surprise him in the bedroom, he's like, oh, I didn't even think I needed that. But that feels good. So it's woman who is the dominant one, masculine and feminine. And when you're dealing with the 11, that woman who is on the 11, and we got 11 energy. Wow, that's a challenge for a man because now she really is the duality. And it sometimes is more challenging for her to have a relationship because she's the 2 ones. Means she's all that. She's the 1, which is really the 3, and she's double that. So that's a double portion. Ooh, that's a handful, 2 handful. So it becomes more challenging for that woman who have that 11 energy to even have a mate unless he knows himself. Because she's going to have a tendency to like, spiritual things and learning, and then she's going to be an older soul. Either she's going to be projecting it in the matrix, or she actually is. Or she's going to be having that as a life path, and she's trying to get there. And it's a real set of, workings here. Because you really are working on yourself. Because you know that you are all thought, meaning like I said previously, and I reiterate, you want to be a good idea. You want to know that, oh, I'm the almighty thought. Oh, well, look, I'm a good thought. Look how good you're looking. Look at the body. And you know that it's all memory. That's all we are with data. So this here mitochondrial DNA melanin woman, well, you're the light code. Like I said, so you go all the way back. So you have to know that everything look like you because the body is memory, it stores memory, it's data. So when you see your granddaughter, you're like, she got my nose. But wait a minute, that's my great grandmother nose. So the body is memorizing everything. And those that we create use it against us because we forgot that it's all us. Once we know it's all us, they disappear.
Yes.
So either you gotta decide. It's a decision. Because it's a 2-2-2 year. That's a lot of moon energy. And that's a lot of intuition. And that's what woman is supposed to have because mother gave it to us. mother wit, mother intuition. So you got to decide, woman, like, what you want. Like, what do you want? You want your children to be here, and you want to come back here and know that you fixed it now, because that's exactly what this is all about. This, yalala, having fun, having fun. This is, have fun. We're trying to fix something right now, so that when if by grace that we was a good idea, we get another body that we could have an experience and sense things and da 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 da. So we're here now to know that it's all on us to fix it, because we created this. So we have to take the responsibility. And don't make another sister have to talk so much either. They say women like to talk, but this particular one don't. But I am in this to win it for my degree. This is the universe, not the university. See? So this is like a great build here. And I hope that everybody share this video and everybody, support one another, because we are in a time that we could change this quickly. That's why they're moving so quick, because they have to move with the quickening.
Yeah, times there's divine timing going on, and they know it.
It's a solar thing. It's the cosmos. We're the cosmos. So as we move, it moves just like that. That's what I say. Well, that's what they say. When I move, you move just like that, because it's all in time. It's collective. Though it may seem individual, it's because it seems, and we're sensing like, oh, I just touched this and you're over there, I'm over there. But all is mine. And if we don't become aware, there's booby traps. Like the mind field. And when you hear the word feel, you kind of supposed to get a feeling too that you should be playing. When I hear the mind field, I start to think about a playground and how I wandered away from my parents, and that they're looking to see if their little girl learns something. And then I get a chance to come back and whew, I did it. I was a good thought. Until the next time, I can chill now. That's when you say an Indian, I think in India they call it samadhi or something like that, Where it's like, okay, I'm not even going to the fifth dimension. I'm just resting. I'm chilling. I'm chilling with all, because I love that deep, and I learned. So it's not, I don't need to go fifth. I don't need to go five. What happened with, 6, 7, 8? You know what I'm saying? I want to be with all. Because I want to be all submerged in the whole ocean.
Absolutely.
So I'm not looking at.
And we're there, but we don't realize. All of us don't realize it. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. And I think what you bring with the numerology and the occasional astrology, but the insight. The insight that you're able to look into what's going on now and correlate it with astronomical and astrological occurrences. And that's what we need to get back to, because that was taken away. Those things were vilified. We were supposed to just trust in the gods and the deities that were put before us, regardless of whatever your belief system is. And so of course, we're just about out of time. And
let me just say one thing.
We know. I'm gonna bring you back, though. You know that.
Right. This is going to be the last thing, though, so that we can leave with this, and they can leave with some hindsight, because you know what? Hindsight is 2020, 2020, and 2022. Mm-hmm. So here's one that I just came up with. I just heard this. Everybody know this person too. Louis Farrakhan. Yes. Let's look at him hindsight in he's alive. So we did somebody who on the other side, Michael. Let's just do my mind because it say, you know what? People are hard-headed and they still not getting their energetic being. So now they can just look and say,
Mm-hmm.
look at Louis Farrakhan. And he is birth. I had studied him before because I do all my clinicals and my validations to make sure that is this still is this right? So he born 5'11". See? And that 11 is his gift. So that's why he's so spiritual. I think he born, I don't be wrong because I said 5'11". I think he is May 11 though.
Mm-hmm. 33.
Yes. Huh? Yeah. All right. So I'm right. Yeah, because I be peeping because I need to see who is role playing here.
11s and 33s. He's got a lot of stuff.
Right, right. So I'm always trying to see who role is what. What's his role? Like, so when he talking, I'm like, okay, his name is Louis Farrakhan, but I'm not like that. I'm like, this is an energetic being. What was the thought? What was the Almighty's thought for him in this day and time? So you see that on the left, it's a 7. So right there, that's the number for God right there. And then 11 is spiritual. See? So so you got that 5 and 11. That's 16. That's 7. So then, boom, right there. And then, you know, I don't know. Remember, what his life path would be. Let me see. I can do it in my mind, but let me see. And he's born
5'11".
So it's a 3. It's a 3. I believe it's a 5. It's a 5. His life path is a 5 then. So that means that's why he quick and he's sharp. And then he speak. Because that 3 is the bridge number. So he's speaking, he's sharp, and that's 5 is communications. So hindsight is now. Look at him now and tell me that we're not energetic beings. We are our vibrations by the date that Mother Nature say we're coming out to serve. So you can see him serving in that 11, and he be bringing the chaos because 11 is chaos, and that's the in and out, in and out, in and out. So he brings the chaos, and that means that he's also been here before because he's born on the 11th. So that's, look at this, see, and see him interacting. Like you say, extraterrestrial and interterrestrial. So he's been here before. And just like if I know, he know. That's why he can't care, because he came here, and even though he Islam, he know that's what he's supposed to act like, because that's what he doing. 7 on the left is God, and that's also media and writing. So he's in the media and he's speaking, and that's all about the communications, because every time he's doing something, it's all communication, communicating. So that's what we close it on. So anybody who want to talk about, something, just look over your shoulder and know hindsight is, we just proved it right here today, because that's what it's all about. We need proof. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the come, because a lot of people come out, they dumb. Yeah, because hey, if they say the body is not filled with light, right? It's not bright. And that's exactly what I was talking about on the previous video about we are becoming. And the come is light, and that you get quality when you eat right. You have to eat the light, because we're light beings and energetic beings. So you're not going to get life from eating dead. And so you're not going to get no energy. And that's why when you go to eat something heavy, you want to lie down, because you can't carry yourself. And you can't carry yourself through this lifetime going on that way for no length of time either, conducting yourself in that manner. So on that note, I appreciate you. And anybody who wants to reboot, they need to find, if I know you and I like you and I like your energy, you can come by my place, and I can, do an Airbnb reboot, but I have to know you and I have to like you, because it's all about energy for me. And you got herbs here. Like I say, have the spagyric hemp, elevate you naturally, can, make sure you're not full of shit. I did say it, because we do colon cleansing here, but not, you got to cleanse the colon first, then you got to do the liver, and you have to do the kidneys. You have to do everything in order, because then you be on your square, which is a 4. Got that? Yeah, like that. It's like that.
Mother, I love you, sister. You know I do. I do. Yep, I do. So appreciate you coming on to do part 2. I don't know whether you're gonna do part 3 or what, but
No,
you
we're
know,
gonna we're not gonna we're gonna do part 3 if we get requests, because this is work.
right,
You see?
right.
If we get requests, then I will use my board and really show some stuff. But we had to get some cash app coming in here, because this is work to prepare. Because any other time I was just like, boom, like we said last week, But today I had to have a little bit of notes. I had to get some things ready, and I had to push some things out the way. So yeah, we get some requests because we want everybody to be better. So I'm up for it. I'll need my degree, but they have to ask. Asking it shall be given. Ask, seek, knock, right?
hmm
Right?
I'm
Ask,
gonna
seek, knock.
I'm gonna put up your Let me run this real
The
quick.
cash app, this is work.
There it is up there. I got it up there.
This is work. We're not on the job, we working, and everybody else should do the work as well. Find out what you came to work on here. And let's get together as women.
Yeah, we would be very interested in getting together with some serious sisters, maybe on Zoom, doing some divine goddess work,
I
and
want
just
some secret meetings. We need some
right
secret
some
meetings.
secret stuff to talk about, some
Yeah.
stuff.
I want I want
So
some secret meetings, and I
reach
need
out
the
to
brothers. Yeah, and we need the brothers to get their secret meetings too. Yeah.
us. Absolutely. There's some things we need to do, and we're Mother Kai, are
Mhm.
you going to be there are you coming back on the 30th to be at the event we're having on the 30th? You're gonna drop in. Last time you missed her. If you didn't come, Mother Kai was one of our presenters. The last event we had on the 27th of August. We have some new guests that are going to be coming, but if mother shows up, we'll certainly give her some space.
I'm gonna bring some hemp flowers so everybody can be elevated naturally.
Okay,
And
so
some good drinks for the pum pum.
that's going to be on the 30th. Tickets probably are almost sold out. I don't know how many tickets we have left, but we only had 75 tickets for this particular event, and it's set up that when the last ticket is sold on PayPal, the 76th
Mhm.
person will go in and click, and it'll say sold out. So I think so far, we have not quite sold out, so you might be able to still get a ticket.
Yeah. I need to
I'm,
put on my
I'm,
blue block.
let me see. Let me pop this up. Look, I'm gonna pop this up for those who. Let me take. I gotta take a little bit of something off so they can see it. Oh my goodness. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna move this and move this
Mhm.
and move this so y'all can see this event, which is Saturday, October 30th, 1 p.m. It begins. Doors open at noon. So it's gonna be all day on the 30th. Um, we'll probably be finished about 9. This time we won't do it 2 o'clock in the morning like the last time. But we
Mhm.
got a whole 8 hours to. Grand Sheik will be there. I'll be there, and we have about three or four other speakers. Some of you've seen on for various interviews here, and some you haven't. But I believe that you're going to be enlightened. But Mother and I are going to do some stuff, and we're going to get to find who's the sisters, like I said, that want to get together and be a part of these.
Yes, I only want to be with round sisters who want to slay, and that
Right,
they really want to exercise, and they want to, like really take over. This is the
right.
takeover. This is
And
the takeover now.
one last thing, I'm getting ready to. I know some people probably go, "Why are you doing it now?" But I'm getting ready to update the flash drive. But if you just got the flash drive, I would say don't order another one. But I am getting ready to do a major update on the flash drive, including um, a certificate, a letter that a lot of people are asking about that they need. Um, that's going to be on
Yeah.
this new one, and I want to thank Brother Truth Walker for that. And yeah, so reach out to us. We love you here at the House of Reawakening Minds and Office Hours with Dr. G. Make sure you also that you
Like and
like,
subscribe.
subscribe. Also, subscribe to my new channel. Yeah, I want you to subscribe to Dr. G is official, right? And also, if you're out there and you want to be a
Mm.
guest on the show, not that I don't love having my regulars on. You know, I love Mother Khai and Dr. Botanica and Brother Lamont and all the ones. I can go on and name the ones of y'all who are always on standby, sending out positive energy to my brother Lamont L. Just sending him some energy and love, and he knows why. But we want to make sure that if you're out there and you have an interesting topic that you would like to share with the audience, you might be in the audience right now. You might be a regular, but doesn't mean you don't have something to share. So,
I got something I want to say real quick before I forget.
oh,
You giving a shout out, eh?
okay,
But he'll know who he is. He cashed at me $50 last week. And I don't know his name right now because I'm not in my phone. But I want to say to you that I appreciate you. And it was only you, only one of you that did it. So it's not like, so if you watching right now, I'm shouting out you, I'm giving you a kiss too, mwah, right? Because we love our brothers. I want to make sure that I'm the kind of woman that you can see yourself in. And that, I mean, like, you know what I'm saying, but don't go too sexual, but yes, but because I am, whether it's your wife, your sister, whatever, I want to make sure that the world, your daughter, whatever, can look at us and say, yes, this is woman now, and things are starting to look up and look better. So it was only one brother who did it. So if you say, I wonder, no, it wasn't me, it was you, because it was only one. And that means you are one of a kind. And you must have seen yourself in us because you did that. And that was like beyond the call of duty. And I appreciate that. And I always like to say that because I appreciate us when we support one another. That's
yes.
all.
Again, we thank you all, and we love you. All kinds of comments out there. Love coming back. Um, oh, somebody said, "Hit that bowl, Doctor G." Oh, you talking about? Oh, they want me to do. They want me to do the sing. Somebody wants me to do the singing bowl. I think.
Oh,
Oh, let me see. I can do. I gotta go over there and get it. Hear Mother talk for a second while I walk to the other side of the office and get it.
hmm. I love y'all. I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh and sing a
Singing.
song. But we got to get together. We know we got to put some soul in it right now because this is all about, the African pop and thing. And I do love country too, but I just can't think of this country song. So whoever watching, whether, is melanin on the outside, melanin on the inside, you know, it's all. Period. You got
Okay,
a
so
singing board? Oh, yes.
we go.
Oh yeah,
I'm
now
gonna.
we're gonna do India. Now we can do India Arie. I am light,
I'm,
I am
you
light,
can sing if that's what you want to do, but
I am light, I am light.
yeah, 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 yeah.
You
So
you go you the one with the real voice now. Go ahead, I'm playing
hold on,
around.
I think I want to play the other one. I
I
think
know
I
you
want to
have.
play the other one, y'all.
That's what's so nice about being right now in this body. You get to have all these different tools. This is what I'm talking about. These are toys. These are our toys, and we just have to know we're using them for now, and that we are they're
Just a little bit.
I
One of these
receive
days, I got crystal ones now. I have a whole set of crystal ones now, but I have
I receive it. I receive
but I
it. It's
hope
so
that energy.
calming. You see
Yes.
how I just feel so calm now.
Thank you so much.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
full of energy and playful, girl. I tell you what. But yes, that is very
Peace
calming.
and love to all of you. Be back. When will I be back? Next Tuesday. I'll be back
Just
next
send this
Tuesday.
video out to everyone. Make it go viral.
Yes. Please like and share, subscribe, and thank you. All right, mother, we going out, right?
Yeah, we going out. Keep your energy up. Keep your
Keep
energy
it
up,
up.
my girl. Yeah,
Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it
keep
up.
it up.
I gotta remember.
Yep. Check me out on Anatunana Baruku on Instagram. Mm.
Dr. G. Really? Who's she?
Yeah, that's me.
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 Dr. G. Really? Who's she?